What's shaking, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Loreena McKennitt, and we're going back to her 1985 album Elemental. Thank you again to Michaela, who not only provided some physical albums, but also a couple others in digital form. And the next track on the record is She Moved Through the Fair. So it's descriptive, it suggests not only a female, but her motion and the location in which it is taking place. Now, of course, moving through something can be both literal but also conceptual, meaning someone could be not necessarily taking part in any one particular activity or practice or niche within this fair. And here I'm assuming fair is, like a cultural event in often a rural setting. So in that regard, I could be wrong about my interpretation of that word, which perhaps would change the meaning significantly, but again, assuming that that's the usage of fair, it gives me a visual setting, though I don't know why she's moving through the fair, whether it is someone who's quite literally passing through without really interacting or engaging, or someone who is in fact engaging and interacting with many things, but none of them more significantly than the others, someone who is dividing her attention and time equally. So yeah, there's a lot implied by the title, but there's still not a lot of detail, so I'll try to catch what I can. Do let me know afterward if I'm anywhere close to what it actually means. This is Loreena McKennitt. The track is She Moved Through the Fair, and it's from her 1985 album Elemental.
She stepped away from me, and she moved through the fair. And fondly I watched her move here and move there. She went away homeward with one star awake, as the swans in the evening move over the lake. The people were saying no to where we went, but one has a sorrow that never was said, and she smiled as she passed me with a good scent again, and that was the last that I saw of my dear. I dreamt it last night that my true love came in. So softly she entered, her feet made no din.
tune that just had me in a trance. So, not strictly speaking an a cappella tune, but pretty close to it. I mean, we had that, not gong, but sort of struck percussive rhythm, more like a pulse. I suppose it could be like a clock or indeed like church bells, but it wasn't quite that sound. Obviously, we had bird song, and anytime you hear bird song in a tune, it is a very enjoyable thing. And there was this soft ambience as well, this atmospheric ambience in the tune, and Loreena's remarkable voice. I mean, her voice sounds good pretty much in every track I've heard so far, and at every moment of these songs, but there were a couple moments in this one where I was just struck. I mean, I'm already listening, and I'm trying to follow the lines, more on that in a minute, but there were a couple moments where just her true vocal sweep and majestic control really caught my ear. And again, it's the kind of recording where you can hear like her breathing and like these subtle mouth sounds, so there's a real like intimacy to her vocal performance in this one. But again, not only does she have a beautiful melodic stroke to her delivery, but there's just this real like natural ease and control to her performances, even when she does sing with a bit more power. And there were a couple moments here where it did sound sort of like Irish singing, like a Celtic singing. Nevertheless, I am curious, because indeed, like early on there was a line, it's like, did she say me father, which it'd be sort of like Irish type of phrasing. But yeah, so at the beginning it was like, I didn't know if she was speaking in third person. I think eventually it became clear she was singing about this other female who I think is her true love, and who came to her, I think, in a dream and lied beside her and reassured her that soon it would be their wedding day. But at first it was like, she had the permission of her mother, but like something about her father, like knowing that she had, was it kind? Was that kindness, or like, is it, kind as in like a quality or a category? But then again, she's talking about a female who's moving from here to there, so it does seem like it's someone who is going through everything, but maybe not stopping, or maybe not, getting anchored to any particular involvement or activity or demographic. And again, I'm thinking fair is the kind of concept that I have in mind. I may be wrong, but it seemed like that was more or less what was being said. But yeah, so she's like moving from here to there, and at first I was wondering like, okay, so is this her daughter? Okay, wait, no, is this like her friend, or just someone that she's observing, this, girl moving through a fair? And then she made clear, she was talking about her true love and how, she came to her, again, I think in a dream, maybe it was just at night, but lied next to her and said, again, that soon it would be their wedding day. So I wondered suddenly, like, is this actually two females? And then maybe in the context, like, that wouldn't be normal at the very least, or, it would go against, let's say, more traditional pairings and so on. And then I wondered those lines at the beginning about mother and father, like, were they aware of this, or, was it, like, I didn't know how it all stitched together, even though I heard some of the lines pretty clearly. So, yeah, one that I'm very curious about, even if some aspects of it I sort of was seeing as the song was playing out. I enjoyed that section where it was like even more ambient, talking about, what was it, swans flying over the lake, and like everybody was singing. So I feel like the fair aspect of it, there's some significance there too. It's not just about the narrator and this other woman, but seemingly, again, there was some sort of festival with, birds, not just the birds that we hear with the bird song, but birds maybe with some conceptual or cultural significance, flying over the water, which is a very, striking image to think about. So, yeah, a lot going on. I don't quite know how it all stitches together, other than it sounds like two people who want to be together and are anticipating being wed, but it still hasn't come to pass yet. And maybe, again, there's cultural barriers to that, I'm not sure. So, yeah, a really intriguing tune. Her voice is incredible. I love her artistry. It's another tune where that comes through very clearly. Not as much eclectic instrumentation here. Again, much more minimal in terms of the sonics, though, as I said, not strictly a cappella. But basically, another very compelling tune from Loreena. So let me know what you think. Thank you again to Michaela, and I will see you for the next one. Peace.